To begin creating a burst email list, we visit the File menu in the main screen of Microsoft Outlook. Clicking on the File menu will display a series of options, and from those options we'll select Import and Export. On the first dialog box that is offered to us, we will select Export to a File. Clicking Next will display the second dialog box, and we'll again select the second option, Comma Separated Values, Windows. Clicking Next displays where we'll be exporting from. To navigate to Contacts, we'll scroll to the top and select the main contact header. Click Next. In the fourth box that is now displayed, we have the opportunity to name the current exported file. For my preferences, I usually put the year, followed by the day, or by the month, pardon me, and finally the day. I've also included ISA as a means of identifying the category I more than likely will use. Once I've named the file and made sure it's on your desktop, I click Next. The fifth box allows us to either export all information or just specific custom fields. By clicking on Map Custom Fields, we can identify how the current export will work. If your screen looks very similar to this screen, where we have three separate fields on the right-hand side, that being categories, email addresses, and email display addresses, then you can continue. If by chance you've recently backed up and all things are on both the left and the right-hand side, the next step would be to clear the map, and then on the left-hand side, scroll to the word Categories. Click and drag onto the right-hand side. For below it, you'll see Email. Click on the plus sign associated to Email to display the options. I'll have to scroll up slightly so I can see all the options available. I will click on Email Address and drag to the right-hand side, and I will click on Email Display Name and drag to the right-hand side. So whether it's populated correctly or whether you need to make some additions, here are the two methods to complete that. Click on OK. Returns us back to the Export a File wizard, where we can now click on Finish. Now that you've completed your export, you can minimize Outlook. Locate the file you've just created and right-click, selecting Open with Office Excel. Select columns A, B, and C. Place your cursor between column B and C, getting the vertical bar with two arrowheads, and double-click. This will auto-fit the entire selection. Using the navigation box on the far right-hand side, left-click and drag to the bottom of the area. This will bring you to the very bottom of your worksheet, or the data that has been exported. Click on the last cell in column C. Hold down the Control, Shift, and press Home. This will select all data that's currently in use. Visit the Data ribbon, and on the Data ribbon locate the Filter command. This places the drop-down arrows at the top of every column header, and the one we're most interested in at this moment is Category A. Click on the drop-down for Category A and select Text Filters. Then Contains. For our example today, we're looking only for ISA, so I could type in Category Contains ISA. and OK. ISA is not case sensitive. All occurrences of ISA, whether it be the only option or in combination with other categories, will now be filtered and displayed. Alternately, you could have clicked the drop-down, cleared to select all, and then manually selected each of the categories that interested you. For those times when you want to combine multiple lists, or you want to refine your list even a little bit closer than just ISA, this would be your option. Starting again, in the second row, under the word email address, left click and drag, selecting all values. At this moment, copy. Now that you've copied the filtered data, you can minimize Excel and open Word. Finally, we'll paste. What you'll notice is this is a table. I will scroll to the top of the list. Resting my cursor on the first entry, I'll see a four-headed arrow informing me that this is a table. I'll click on that four-headed arrow, selecting the entire table and displaying the table tools. Finally, I'll use Layout from the Table Tools ribbon. On the Layout ribbon, I'll visit the Convert to Text. I'll separate all text that's currently in a table into text that is separated by paragraph marks by clicking OK. Often, one of our contact entries may not have an email list or an email entry available. To remove all blank entries, I'll stay on the Home ribbon, click to replace, and then enter Find *P. Caret is entered by pressing Shift-6, then P, and then a *P again, and we'll replace that with a single *P. This in effect removes all blank entries. I click Replace All, and yes, and OK. And once that's complete, I'll now replace all paragraph marks with a comma. To achieve that, I use *P and a comma. So where it says Find What, I make sure there's only a single caret and a single P. And where it says Replace With, I place a comma followed by a space bar. I replace all, say yes to start at the beginning, and OK to accept the changes. This format is the most desirable of all formats for an email list. All it's required now is, starting with an email address, select a range of items, copy and paste them into your blind courtesy copy, and send.